20 goals. At this World Cup, Lionel Messi became the greatest scorer in the tournament's history, passing a record that stood for 12 years. He is 39 years old, and everyone is asking the wrong question. The right question is the one nobody dares to say out loud. Can he actually win the whole thing again? Because here's what history says about defending a World Cup. Nobody has done it in 64 years. Not Pelé's Brazil after 62. Not the France of Zidane, not Spain's golden midfield, not Germany's machine. Every champion since has walked into the next tournament and been swallowed by it. In nearly a century of World Cups, only two nations have ever won back-to-back titles. Italy in the 1930s, and Brazil with a teenage Pelé in 58 and 62. That's the whole list. Even Uruguay, a champions twice in the early years, never managed it consecutively. Winning one World Cup takes a golden generation. Winning the next one takes something football almost never allows. And in the modern era, the curse got crueler. France, champions in '98, knocked out in the groups in 2002 without scoring a single goal. Italy, 2010, groups. Spain, 2014, groups. Germany, 2018, groups. 4 different champions, all foregone before the knockout rounds even began. Only 3 holders in those 64 years even made it back to the final. Argentina in 1990, Brazil in '98, France in 2022 against Messi himself. All 3 lost. The curse always collects. So how is the defense going this time? June 16th, the opener against Algeria, 3-0, and a Messi hat-trick that equaled the all-time World Cup scoring record. At 38 years and 357 days, the oldest hat-trick in the history of the tournament. 6 days later, Austria, one of Europe's most organized sides, 2-0, and it never once felt close. Then Jordan, 3-1, a perfect 9 points, 8 goals scored, 1 conceded, and World Cup goal number 19, the record now his alone. Argentina didn't defend like a haunted champion. They defended like the best team in the tournament. Not that any of this has been easy. In the round of 32, Cape Verde, the smallest nation ever to reach a World Cup, pushed the champions to the brink. Messi scored his 20th World Cup goal, extending his own record even further. Twice Argentina led, twice Cape Verde came back. It took an extra-time own goal to finally settle it. 3-2. The scare is over. Egypt is next. And that's the part everyone outside Argentina still hasn't accepted. This is not a team waiting for Messi miracles anymore. Scaloni's 4-3-3 is the most settled structure at this World Cup. 11 names that pick themselves. A shape that can drop into a back 5 against the elite, and a plan that survives even when the magic doesn't come. The attack flows through a simple trick. Messi no longer plays striker, he floats, finds the half space, and lets the runners do the sprinting. Julian Alvarez attacks the space he creates. Lautaro Martinez occupies the defenders. 8 goals in 3 group games, and they came from everywhere, not just from the captain. Behind him, the engine room. De Paul, Enzo Fernandez, Mac Allister. They press in a pack, they recycle possession, and they kill counterattacks before they start. This midfield won a World Cup together before turning 30, and it's better now. At the back, Romero the aggressor, Lisandro Martinez the passer, and 1 goal conceded in the entire group stage. Behind them, Emiliano Martinez, the keeper whose saves decided the last final. Champions usually rot from the spine. This spine got stronger. And the architect, Lionel Scaloni, the caretaker nobody wanted in 2018, who built the machine around the magician. 4 trophies in 4 years. Argentina hasn't lost a knockout match in normal time under him at a World Cup. Organization is why this defense doesn't look like the others. But Argentina has been here before, and this is where the ghosts live. 1986. Diego Maradona drags Argentina to glory almost alone. 4 years later, he drags them all the way back to the final and loses it 1-0 in Rome. Even the last god of Argentine football couldn't do it twice. Messi knows the feeling. 2014, Brazil. He carried Argentina to the final, won the Golden Ball, and watched Mario Götze end it in extra time. The best player in the world, standing next to a trophy he wasn't allowed to touch. Then Qatar. The greatest final ever played, 3-3 against France. A Mbappé hat-trick not enough, penalties, redemption. The debt of a career paid in full. Which leaves only one question worth asking at his 6th and likely last World Cup. Now the honest part. Messi turned 39 during the group stage. 6 goals in 3 games says the finishing hasn't aged, but knockout football is played in the legs, and no amount of genius delays that bill forever. One bad night, one deep block masterclass against him, and the fairy tale ends without apology. And the field is brutal. France want revenge for Qatar. Spain and Portugal are on a collision course. England, Brazil, the bracket is full of teams built to end this story. Champions don't get easy roads. That's the whole point of the curse. So here's the equation. 4 more wins. That's the entire distance between Lionel Messi and something no footballer has ever done, winning back-to-back World Cups as the main character of both. 64 years of champions have failed at exactly this. A handful of players have won this trophy twice. Not one of them was the main character both times. He has nothing left to prove and one thing left to do. 64 years say it's impossible. He spent an entire career making that word sound negotiable. The next chapter drops after Argentina's next match. Subscribe and watch the ending with us.